Shalom. First and foremost, Kwa Halal, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Bashim Kwa Kadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the Akim out there in the highways and byways, noise and spread abroad, all around the world through the spirit and power of our Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. So, we've been telling you, so-called blacks, we've been telling you for many years now, Esau don't give a fucking damn about you. When are y'all gonna get it through your thick knucklehead skull that Esau doesn't give a fuck about you, no matter who's in office? It doesn't matter if the Republicans are in office. It doesn't matter if the Democrats are in office. They don't give a fuck about you, period. And that's real talk. Here it is. The presidential election was coming. Y'all was quick to get Donald Trump out of office. Y'all was celebrating and parading and doing all kind of backflips, popping bottles and all this dumb shit y'all was doing, for this man to get in office. And now he's in office. He doesn't give a fucking damn about you. It's the same okie doke over and over. Same fucking playbook that they're using over and over again. And you niggas, you just don't get it. You just don't get it. Here it is. You know what I'm saying? This devil, he done made over 500 peace treaties with the tribe of Gad, the so-called North American Indians, and broke every last one of them. History should teach you a lesson. All right? You got to know this devil's history. And a lot of you niggas, you sleep. You don't do any research. You don't check this fucking devil's background. You don't check the background on this devil, his track record. Here it is, you know what I'm saying? When you get convicted of a crime or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and you go to jail and you spend a certain amount of time in jail, you get out of jail, you try to find a job, you know what I'm saying? You try to find a job for a company, you know what I'm saying? The first thing they'll do is check the background on you to see what you've done, to see if you're clean. You know what I'm saying? But you niggas, y'all don't do that. Y'all don't check the background on this devil. You don't check the background and the history on how this devil did, how this devil moves. And this is what you get. And it reads here, it says broken promises. It says HBCU, which stands for the historic black colleges and universities, funding cut by 30 billion in Biden's budget. Some Democrats are not having it. Some black Democrats are not having it. You see, you fucking stupid. Y'all fucking stupid as shit. You thought this man was gonna make a difference, huh? You thought this man was for you niggas, You thought this man was gonna have your back. I got your back. It's all a lie. It's all phony. It's all fun and games. It's all smoke and mirrors. All right? You niggas done been duped again with no Vaseline. Same shit over and over. This is why we're telling you to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Come back to the Most High. Don't trust in the system. But you fully put your whole trust in the system. And this is what you get every time. Same results, different, same shit. Same old bullshit that you niggas suffer. Same shit. That's why scripture says, never trust thy enemy. You're supposed to be putting your trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, your deliverer, but y'all don't want to do that because y'all don't have no faith. All right? You want to put your faith in man and lies and deceit and bullshit. This is what y'all like to do. Let me just read a little bit of this article. Some black Democrats are not having Some black Democrats are not here for the nearly 30 billion cut to HBCU, which is historic black colleges and university, funding and the latest version of President Joe Biden's 3.5 trillion budget reconciliation bill. One of them has even threatened to vote against it if the issue is not resolved. U.S. Representative Alem Adams of North Carolina is the co-chair of the HBCU Clauses. She's a long fellow Democrat of HBCU graduate senior Dr. Raphael Warnock, the first black man elected to represent the state of Georgia in the Senate, having publicly objected to how distractingly the proposed funding is historic black colleges and universities was cut.
Is it down this one? Right. Was it?
Intentionally, Biden proposed $55 billion in funding to HBC in his bill in his build better is the Build Back Better plans. However, when the bill went to Congress, the reconciliation, it only advocated a total of 30.5 billion. BNC News reported. So let me just read a little bit of this. Symbolism versus policy. The more black faces I see, the lower the black political efficiency and scientific outcomes. As a whole, you say you trust the science. Why not? Why not promote military grade political science? Why do you patronize spoke symbolism as political currency? Well, Adam was not having it and said she wouldn't vote for the bill in its current form. This is contrary to President Biden's own goals for HBCU and MCI funding. Adam wrote in the letter, according to Inside Higher Ed, if this language as written becomes law, it is accurate to say that HBCU will only successfully compete for pennies on the dollar. Transmissive legislation that invests in American people and help us build back better. Most invest in our strongest engines of upward mobile are HBCU. Adam added in a tweet on Tuesday, September 20th, historic black colleges and universities are having a moment. The time is now for Congress to meet that moment. Well, you see, they're not going to meet that moment because it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all a lie, Really, who these politicians or these presidents really have in their best interest is the interests of the elites. They don't have the interests of you so-called blacks. You're not in their interests, They don't have you in their best interests, They only have the interest in serving the elites and pushing their agenda. That's who they really serve. They don't really serve you so-called Negroes, all right? Get that through your head. We've been telling you knuckleheads for years that the so-called that the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, don't give a fuck about you. It's just evident. All right? And it's going to get worse. You know, it's going to get worse. These cuts, you know, there's going to be more cuts. You know, they're going to cut housing. They're going to cut food stamps. They're going to cut Section 8. They're going to cut all these government programs off, you know, in the near future, you know. And the majority of our people that are on these programs is the majority of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native and Seminole Indians. You know, and you know, these white people too, you know what I'm saying? But the ones that are going to suffer the most are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native and Seminole Indians, you know? And this is what they got in mind. This is their agenda, you know? And it's only going to get worse from here. But let me just leave it with a scripture here. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, Salakia, the book of Ecclesiasticus 12, you know, the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. It says, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. You see? Never trust thy enemy. You shouldn't be putting your trust in the so-called white man, because ultimately the so-called white man is your enemy. You know, he's not for you. You know, his mind and his dedication is set on destroying you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native and Seminole Indians. That's what that's his whole mindset. That's his whole game. You know, that's what he's trained upon. He's not trained upon helping you so-called Negroes. All right, it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all a lie. It's all bullshit. You know, because eventually America will be destroyed by way of thermonuclear missiles. You know, that's the future for America. There's no turning back. You know, so for you to trust in this devil, you completely out of your damn mind. And we were laughing at you so-called Negroes, you know, over here popping bottles, celebrating, pulling out tweets, you know. You see tweets and pictures of Trump being dragged out of office saying, get out. We don't want you in there. Peace. Only to have another devil, you know, with bigger horns to come up in there to deceive you so-called Negroes, to play you so-called Negroes, you know? It's amazing. Like, you Negroes get fucked left and right, bro. You know? You'll get played left and right all the time. This devil has you in a trick bag. You know? Broken promises. It's always broken promises. Look at Obama. You know, was Obama for you Negroes? Was he fighting for you Negroes? Hell fucking no. You know, hell fucking no. His main agenda was to push the so-called white man's agenda and push homosexuality and lesbianism, all this shit. Gay marriage, to pass gay marriage. That was his agenda. That's what he was set up to do. He wasn't in the interest of you so-called blacks, you know, and Hispanics and Native and Seminole Indians. He was in the interest of the elites. And it's no different with so-called buddy Joe Biden. You know, he's in the interest of the elites. He's not in the interest of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native and Seminole Indians. We've been telling you this for years. Get it through your thick skull. You know? But anyway, with that, you know, I want to say shalom.